Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to the Pauranik Institute, to the IMA, to the MGM Medical College for having me here. And I'm really happy to visit Indore. You've already heard a lot about the humanities from the other speakers, but I want to just share कि हमने ये सफ़र कैसे तय किया, शुरुआत कैसे हुई. सबसे पहले था why humanities. अगर आप ये चित्र देखेंगे, इसका कुछ जिक्र डॉक्टर पौराणिक ने भी किया था. अगर हमें ये जो फनल के बीच में है, जो बाउंडेड है, वो तो बहुत ज़रूरी है. बेशक हमें इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन, हमें मेडिसिन्स के बारे में, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स के बारे में, कॉग्निटिव चीज़ें जो हैं, स्किल्स जो हैं, सर्जिकल स्किल्स और डायग्नोस्टिक स्किल्स, पिल्स, ये सब बहुत ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है हेल्थ केयर के लिए. लेकिन अगर हम ये बैरियर्स हटा देंगे तो वी विल बी एबल टू expand our vision and expand our perspective, and we will be able to respond to questions like why does a certain person feel differently when they are in pain and another person can tolerate it. What are these differences? How does a person who is being stigmatized feel? You know, suppose you have tuberculosis or you have leprosy and you're taking the treatment, so does my job end there? Or am I supposed to worry about, you know, whether your family has abandoned you, whether you have anybody to take care of you when you can't walk or you can't feed yourself? Those sort of things should also bother. So when we want to know about the human, then the humanities is the way to go. And of course, the two are not mutually exclusive as we have made it. This is a system that we have made where we say after 10th, nee, beta, please focus on science. We need to change that. And I'm really happy to see visionary people who are ready to encourage this and to bring about this change. So if you want to know about the human who harbors a disease, then looking at their disease through the lens of the humanities is the way to go. तो अगर मान लीजिए मुझे कोई बीमारी और मैं गाना नहीं सुन सकती या मैं मूवी नहीं देख सकती या मेरी समझ में कोई, तो क्या मेरी क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ क्या होगी? मैं दवाइयाँ खाती रहूँगी, लेकिन क्या डॉक्टर सिर्फ दवाई दे के पूरा काम कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं? तो पेशेंट सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए ये काफ़ी ज़रूरी है. तो हमने जब इसके खिलाफ जाना चाहा कि ये बैरियर क्यों है, किसने बनाया ये बैरियर, इसको हम कैसे हटाएं, तो सबसे पहले हमने एक छोटा सा ग्रुप बनाया. छोटा इसलिए था वो ग्रुप क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्केप्टिक्स थे. आप देखेंगे इस ग्रुप में भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं ज़्यादा और फैकल्टी बहुत कम है. मैं इसमें नहीं हूँ क्योंकि मैं कहीं और बिजी रही होंगी, इस फोटो में मैं नहीं हूँ. But this was a fact in 2009 that people said, क्या आप, medicine is such a serious subject, it's death and life, and you want to bring Nach Gana into it. Literally that is what they said. But I'm very happy that we persisted because we had this belief and some of us had this vision that this was worth exploring, it was worth learning, and instead of following a Western model, we said let's just play with this and let's make our own models. So now you'll see that we've managed to cross beyond the borders of our institution, UCMS. We now have collaborations with other colleges in Delhi medical schools, also with across the country. So beautiful places where we collaborate. Amritsar in this year, then Dehradun, Sikkim, and Jorhat in Assam, Coimbatore. So those are fun places to go and do your medical humanities work. But also there are de novo centers like Mumbai KEM you mentioned, and there's Manipal Institute. There is also Bangalore St. John's where people are doing their humanities work. So this is exciting for us to be able to become larger and larger, and across the world also. We've crossed the boundaries of the country, where we've been able to interact with the McMaster University in Canada for medical humanities work, Greenwich University in the UK, and we have a long-standing collaboration with the University of Chicago also. So there are people who are very excited by the potential for bringing or looking at health and wellness and illness through the lens of the humanities. So when we started, we began with tools that already existed. So one of them was, of course, history of medicine. We've all heard of these stalwarts. And so you don't necessarily have to only pick up people that the whole world knows about. There are also, I'm sure, people or events that have happened in Indore, for example. Maybe Rani Ahilyabai, I'm not sure. I did look, I Googled and Googled, but she didn't seem to have done very much for health, but I could be wrong, so I'm sure you know better than I do. But there are people who have worked in Indore, and they are worthy of inspiring the younger generation. So I would recommend that if you want to start, history of medicine is a good way to talk about issues like professionalism, ethics, whatever you find in that particular story. Then SPICMECE was an important resource for us. SPICMECE is a society which promotes Indian cultural music and dance and other cultures. And it was very easy. It's for the youth. So the students went and organized it. They went to the meetings, and they said, "Acha, ye month hame suit karta. We'll take this artist or we'll take that artist." And it was wonderful learning for them. Teamwork, they learn all these things you need in the medical profession. So that was great. And then movies. So one important learning we had from movies was they don't have to be health-related movies. They can be anything. And your point may be anything that the audience takes away. So if the students in Rashomon, for example, we ask them, कि आप ना इसको Japanese language वाली देखो YouTube पे, और बहुत होगा तो English subtext में सुन लेना, लेकिन Japanese में ज़रूर, because the point was that you don't really need the violence of speech. Speech is said to be violent by somebody that we follow. He's a proponent of theatre of the oppressed, which I'll be coming to later. And according to him, the body is so much larger and the tongue is so small that we can say more with our bodies than with our tongues. But we choose our tongues because it's loud and you can impact people and bully them and make them listen to you. So we use language. So this was interesting. All this we learned while we were doing these things. The other thing we discovered was our own passions. So the second set of tools were things that our group was interested in. 3 of us trained in Theatre of the Oppressed, and I have some pictures which I'll show you towards the end about what is Theatre of the Oppressed. And then there were some who wanted to work with graphic medicine, so that was fine. They developed cartoons, and they used those as a tool for teaching. There were others who were fond of visual media, so they used that. And I was fond of storytelling and creative writing, so I took on narrative medicine, poetry, and also storytelling. And now I think this is a good opportunity for me to read out a poem. Dr. Puranik asked me if I write in Hindi, and I said, oh, class 10 में मुझे 75% से ज़्यादा मिला था हिंदी में. So क्यों ना मैं, उसके बाद तो पढ़ी नहीं हिंदी, but so this poem is called आप भूल जाते हैं. Daddy, कल फिर आपने मम्मी को पुकारा, इस तरह पुकारा उनका नाम जैसे कि वो रसोई में है और अभी आ जाएंगी आपकी आवाज सुन के. हाथ पोंछते पोंछते कहेंगी, चाय अभी तो चढ़ाई है, कुछ टाइम तो लगेगा. डैडी, मम्मी के हाथ की चाय अगर पीनी है तो दोबारा जन्म लेना पड़ेगा। जहाँ वो इस वक्त हैं, खैर छोड़िए, ये सब कहने का फ़ायदा तब है ना जब आपको याद रहे, याद इस तरह रहे जिस तरह आपको 1965 की लड़ाई याद है, खेमकरन का वो युद्ध याद है, असल उत्तर के दिन कितने पाकिस्तानी टैंक आपने बर्बाद किए थे और किस तरह से उनको नष्ट किया था, वो आप नहीं भूले, पर आज सुबह का नाश्ता क्या था ये आप भूल गए। डैडी, कुछ दिन पहले आपने मुझे बुआ जी के नाम से पुकारा था, और आज मैं अजनबी हूँ, आज आप नाराज़ हैं, आप उदास हो, कहते हो कि आपकी बेटी थी एक और उसने आपको इस अजनबी के घर में बेताल्लुक कर दिया है। आप भूल जाते हैं, आप तो खो जाते हैं डैडी पुरानी बातों में और नई नई अजीब सी हकीकतें बना लेते हैं। पर मैं क्या करूं, मैं कहाँ खोजूं उन पिता को जिनकी मैं लाडली बेटी हूँ और जिन्होंने कभी मुझे इस नफरत से नहीं देखा जिस तरह कभी कभी आप देखते हैं। जब आप भूल जाते हैं कि आप कौन हैं और मैं कौन हूँ डैडी, आप भूल जाते हैं कि आप कौन हैं और मैं कौन हूँ। So using these tools over the years, we came up with this paradigm. This reflects our belief that it is possible to change attitudes and behavior, or to influence, maybe not change, we haven't done a vertical study, but you can influence people into thinking about how they behave, what they think of, and also communication, their lack or the presence of respect for diversity and empathy. It is possible to awaken all these attributes which are very important in practitioners, you know that. And the other thing we found was that when you're doing all this work on medical humanities, where do you publish? If you do research using these tools, where do you send your material? There was no journal in India, as Sumit rightly pointed out. And so in 2014, we said, let's set up our own journal. It's fully free. You can access it at rhyme.in. And it is peer-reviewed and open access, so anyone can read it. And it's online only, so we don't have print issues. And the logo, he's already you stole my slide and my dialogue, but this is, yes, so I wish it had been a longer acronym. This is RHYME, Research and Humanities in Medical Education. And then I could have used more scripts, but as I was left with just 4. And then if you still need convincing, and some people do, they still do, although we have many people who are now in this movement, half of them, many of them are sitting here. So obviously when Parvaz is our student poetry club, the students set it up, they write poetry, they wanted a forum where they could sit between 1 and 2 o'clock, eat their lunch and recite poetry. So we discovered that when you have a student-led interaction where teachers are also present, it's a wonderful opportunity to role model, to demonstrate professionalism. Every interaction that you have with a student is an opportunity where you can show them these things that we don't tell them. Telling is not the same as showing. We all know that. If you can demonstrate it in action, it works better. This we'll leave. And then, so these are some of the tools that I have mentioned, some I haven't, but these are the ones that we have used. We've used this. And I was telling you about that movie, Rashomon, but also when we were in Assam and we were doing a Theatre of the Oppressed workshop, we were, you know, working with the groups of students, and we said कि आपको ये struggle का play बनाना है और हमने देखा कि जब वो असमीज़ में अपने आप से बात कर रहे थे तो बहुत एनिमेटेड थे, लेकिन जब वो हिंदुस्तानी में फिर हमने बोला कि ये तो इंग्लिश में करेंगे बिकॉज ऑडियंस में पता नहीं सबको असमीज़ आएगी कि नहीं। तो जब वो इंग्लिश में बोलने लगे तो उनके पास कई सारे डायलॉग नहीं थे और वो दिख रहा था कि वो थोड़ा नेचुरल नहीं थे। तो फिर हमने फैसला किया कि आप असमीज़ में करिए। हम कुछ लोग हैं जिनको नहीं आती असमीज़, बट फिर हम बॉडी लैंग्वेज सुन लेंगे। तो बहुत ही कामयाब और फैसिनेटिंग रहा वो। Now these are some tools that we haven't used, but never say die. So maybe we can look at health and wellness and illness through these lenses, and maybe we'll have even more learning. These are my final slides on Theatre of the Oppressed. After poetry, this is my second best, but sometimes it's there. Sometimes Theatre of the Oppressed ranks higher than poetry, and sometimes it's vice versa, and sometimes they're equal. So in Theatre of the Oppressed, we have one person who's a joker. The joker is the person who orchestrates the whole action. And through theatre games and through theatre exercises, the purpose is to build trust. When 15 or 20 strangers begin to trust each other, then they are ready to share their stories. And the whole purpose of Theatre of the Oppressed is to share stories of struggle. And they can list their most recent struggle. They can list a struggle that continues to bother them, even though it happened 15, 20 years ago. And they could be just anything. It could be at home, it could be on the road, it could be in a bus, it could be at the workplace, it could be in medical school. And then everyone prepares one scene of struggle from the story that they have chosen, and these are real stories. So you may have 5 stories, you may have 6, depending on how many groups you have. And these are some of the issues that people brought. The audience, that means you, who were not part of the workshop, will then choose one issue based on a raising hands. They will say, I identify with this issue the most because I have experienced it, or my sister experienced it, or I know about this. And then based on that, that play is enacted again. And this time, the spectators are invited to stop the play. In all other forms of theatre, which is theatre for entertainment, or a role play, which is theatre for pedagogy, we don't stop the play. But here the spectator can stop the play, come on stage, remove the person who is struggling and take their place, which means they literally step into the shoes of the struggling person. That's empathy. And you'll notice from this slide, so many people rose up. In this story, the protagonist was a student a boy who wanted to become a chef. And his father insisted he would join medicine. And it's so surprising that in the audience, the majority of people had experienced or seen it, or they identified with that boy's struggle, and they wanted to help him become a chef. So they stepped onto the stage. They tried to face the oppression. And naturally, the boy's father, or any oppressor for that matter, will escalate his oppression. वो ऐसे कैसे मान जाएगा? ये तो power है. वो पावर क्यों छोड़ेगा? तो वो और अप्रेस करेगा, वो और अप्रेस करेगा। तो इस तरह से कई सारे ऑप्शंस उस लड़के को मिल गए कि तुम कैसे ये हैंडल कर सकते हो ऑपरेशन। तो दैट यू कैन एक्सप्लोर issues like this through Theatre of the Oppressed. And that concludes that has been our journey. We continue on this journey. It's absolutely rewarding because of the bonds that you form with people when you're doing this. Humanities is a great bond former, which I don't know if medicine is, but it is, I suppose. And I'm extremely grateful for this award. I like I am now to one side. That's how I like to work, out of the sort of limelight, but somehow we have Sherlock Holmes in the selection committee, and they were able to well, I'm really grateful that they recognized this and that they are rewarding people who are doing work in an area which people are still skeptical about. And I absolutely must thank the two Singhs in my life, Satyendra Singh, who is Professor of Physiology at UCMS, and Navjeevan Singh, who is Professor of Pathology, for their vision. Without them, I don't think I would have achieved anything at all. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the award. Thank you to the IMA, to the MGM, to the Puranik Institute, and to the selection committee. Thank you.